I'm Christy, and this is a Get Beyond the Walls game tip. If you're ready to play a Get Beyond the Walls game, but you're not sure which one to choose, you've come to the right place. We're going to go over the variations between different games within the same city. So of course, the first thing you need to do is decide what state, and then what city you want to play a game in. Then you'll see that there are different types or formats of games listed. For up-to-date information about our different game formats, you can find a link to a video about current game formats in the description. Then, within each city, and even within the same format of games, there might be more than one game available. So how do you choose? For example, in Columbus, Ohio, you'll see that there are two walking adventure games that are both set in downtown Columbus. One is called Downtown North, and the other is called Downtown South. Or, over in Austin, Texas, there are two walking adventure games that are titled Second Street District and Capital. The titles differentiate multiple games in the same city, and the starting point for each game is also listed with the description for the game here in the app. For more information that you might want to help you decide, though, the best place to look is on our website. When you go to getbeyondthewalls.com and click on the Browse Games button, you will find a list of all of the states we currently have games in. We'll keep using Austin, Texas for an example. Each game has extra information shown here that will help you decide, in a city with more than one game of the format you wish to play, which game is right for you. Let's take a closer look at each of these items. Points of Interest provides a list of the landmarks and other notable locations that can be seen, or in some cases are examined, as part of this game. The game format I mentioned earlier is shown here, as well as within the game's name. The starting point will help you narrow down the location of the game even further than the description given in the title. The Second Street District, for example, covers several blocks, but this game starts specifically at the intersection of 2nd Street and San Antonio Street. Which corner of that intersection you'll need to be on to start the game will be explained once you've created your team and started the game, but this gets you pretty close. Sometimes the starting point won't be an intersection, but will instead be a notable landmark or named space. For example, the Downtown North game in Cincinnati, Ohio shows Fountain Square as the starting point. The ending point, then, tells you where the final challenge of the game will be located. You'll find that most of our games loop back to within 2 blocks or less of the starting point. And like with the starting point, sometimes the ending point is not given as an intersection, like this game in Austin, the ending point for which says 2nd Street at Austin Central Library, because the game doesn't end at a corner. The distance tells you how long the total route covered by the game is between the starting and ending points. Depending on who is going to be on your team, this might be one of the biggest determining factors in deciding which game to play. Maybe you'd prefer a shorter walking distance, or maybe you want to get out and walk as much as you can. Next is the amount of challenges, which does not include introduction challenges that are at the beginning of each game, which give you a little tutorial for how to use the app and play the game and give you that more specific starting location. It also doesn't include the bonus challenges that are at the end of every game, where you can let us know about any problems you had during the game or what you thought about the game in general. The amount of challenges, then, reflects only the gameplay challenges, and if you want to know more about what to expect from challenges, there are a couple of videos linked in the description for this video that have more information. The approximate time listed is an estimate based on how many challenges the game has, as well as the game's distance, using information we've gathered from other players of games that are of the same format as this game. This can be thought of as more of an average, but your team could be faster, especially if you're competing against another team for time, or it could even take a while longer than what is shown here, especially if you're going at a more leisurely pace, or have strollers to push, things like that. So while this amount is a guideline and can be used to compare different games to decide which you'd rather play, you will play the game at your own pace. The total price for a team of up to 5 players is also given here. Each game of the same format is the same price, so that can also be useful for helping you decide which game you want to play. One more thing that might help you decide which game you want to play when you're faced with more than one option is that you should pay attention to special notes that might show up with a game. These notes will flag you to special circumstances, like a game that has unavoidable steps, which might make that game harder for teams with strollers or with people who don't do as well on steps. We do try to only involve stairs in a game if there's an alternate way to get around them, But if we can't, we make sure potential players are aware of those stairs. Other notes may include something like this one for the game that takes place on and around the Capitol grounds in Austin, Texas, which indicates that the game can only be played between 7 a.m. and 8 p.m. due to the Capitol grounds being closed outside of those times. Of course, we always recommend that you play within daytime hours to be sure you have enough light to see what you're looking for, but this way teams that want to play this game know the time restrictions on it. Notes like this, or about steps or anything else that might affect whether or not your team would choose to play the game, can be found in the description on the website, as well as the game's description in the app. Once you've chosen the game you want to play and are ready to find it in the app, if you're viewing the website, you can tap the View Game button to be taken directly to that game. Or you can use the Go to App button at the top of any page of the website, or even simply go to beyondthewallsapp.com to get to the app and find the game from one of our lists. If you need any help finding the game you're looking for in the app, we've got a video for that, and you can tap the link in the corner of this video screen to watch it. Once you're viewing the game in the app, you may notice that all of the challenges have a lock icon next to them. They will remain locked and unviewable until you have purchased the game and created a team. The play button in the corner of the picture at the top of the game, if you're already logged into the app, will take you to the purchase page where you can pay for your game or enter a game voucher code if you've gotten one in advance. If you're not logged into the app, it will take you to the login page. There's also a video explaining how to create an account, so click on the link in the corner of the screen now for help with that. Both of these videos are also linked in the description. If you need more information on purchasing your game or creating your team, or want to know about our tips for playing, check out our whole playlist of videos using the link in the corner of the video right now. It's important to us that you enjoy whichever game you decide to play, and now you have the information you need to choose the right game for you and your team.